which is what you were,
I'll
which is what
record it
you
because
were.
it's good stuff, so it's good to go over. Yeah.
Yeah. So it basically catapulted everyone into a higher dimension, which is what you were referring to when you were talking about that movie. What was it? Inception.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it literally, so basically I wanted to talk to you that day that you put that on there, because I was like, I know what this is. Like
Yeah.
literally there was like creator, like there was a lot of light that poured onto the planet that day, and it shifted the she shifted the water, the element of the water, and shifted the atomic molecules within the atmosphere. So what it did was it actually catapulted people into a higher timeline, which is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And so, and yeah, so I don't know if that resonates with you, but
Yeah. Because I mean, in the dream levels, they're kicking into. I see they're going through the dimensions. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and humanity actually shifted into like ascended to a higher dimension. And so you caught that information, like you were downloaded that information, like right, I think it was like a day or two after it happened. And then I saw your video and I was like, oh my God, I know what that is. Like,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Where are you? Where in the States are you?
I'm in Georgia, in like a suburb of
Are you
Atlanta,
really?
Georgia.
So I'm wearing my. I didn't know
Oh
that, but
my gosh, you are.
I'm wearing my Georgia t-shirt. Yeah.
That's a synchronicity. Like that
Yeah.
cannot be a coincidence. That's
No,
definitely
I
synced up.
decided to put that on today, and I was like,
Uh,
no, I'm going to keep it on for the show.
oh man,
Yeah.
that's the angels. That's the
Yeah.
guides. Like they synced that up 100%. Because what's the
Yeah.
likelihood you would have picked Atlanta of
I know.
all
Well,
the places?
I haven't actually worn this t-shirt for probably, I don't know, a month or two, maybe a month. I haven't worn it for a while. I was like, okay, what am I going to put on today? And I rummaged fewer different, through my whole bunch of t-shirts. I was like, I'm going to wear this one today. So I've had this one on, and then I was
Oh,
like,
I love
okay,
it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I didn't. Yeah, is it? So is it Atlanta you're from, or just outside, or another part of Georgia?
Well, I've lived here for like 15 years, but I'm originally actually from Canada. So
Ah,
I've moved all over the East Coast. So I was
yeah.
born in Canada, raised in Florida and Southwest Florida, lived in North Carolina, and now I've kind of been everywhere, to be honest, but I've been in Atlanta now for maybe 15 years, something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
What about you? So you're in UK?
I'm in the UK, so I'm on the south coast. I was in London for a while. I still go up there, but I'm on the south coast, so I'm in the UK, yeah, in England, yeah. And
Oh,
we're having
I've always
not a storm, but it's a lot of wind. Like, so I was just getting back to make sure it got on for you, and it was a few. That's why, and then I was like, I've got to get the Zoom done, and it wouldn't go through one of the servers. So anyway, so that's why it kind of was just about a minute or so after, but we're here.
Oh,
We're
it's
here.
fun. No,
Yeah.
it's totally fine. I was hoping I didn't get the time wrong, but you're
No, you
totally,
don't. I wanted to make sure. I
no,
was like,
it's
no,
fine.
it's all right. It's got it. So that's why I sent the double email. But you can probably, I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe not. I don't know if it always picks it up, but it's pretty strong winds out there tonight. Yeah.
I can't hear it right now, but maybe if I'm quiet, I can hear it. No, not yet.
Yeah.
But
No, I think somehow it
it's
doesn't
been
pick it up, but it's pretty ferocious. Well, it's strong out there tonight. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
strong. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you needed some clearing out there. Whenever there's a storm, I feel like it's like clearing the energy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the storm is the Awakening 85 Matrix Silver. Yeah, but it's pretty. Yeah, it's strong. It's been cold. I mean, tonight's more of a relief because yesterday was really cold. It was below zero and it was like really cold.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, it was really cold. Today's been maybe more like 8 degrees centigrade,
So
but it's
so the
windy
weather
and wet.
here's been like, oh man, that's cold. So it's December here and it's 65 degrees, and it's been raining, but I know we're in Georgia, so it's always mild. But in my
Yeah.
opinion, I feel like the weather is off, like for it to be 65, like usually by Halloween, it's dropped, the temperature, and it's cold, you know? I mean, it's unpredictable, but I just feel like there's a lot of weather manipulation going on. Like this
Yeah.
doesn't seem normal. It's just so hot.
Right.
It's been so hot, you know?
I was in, so 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago now, but yeah, just over 2 years ago, I was in Texas for about a week and a half, and it was hot. So I was in the pool in, yeah, it would have been November time. Yeah, and it was lovely. It was like, oh, this is, but it would get dark early,
Yeah.
like it does here. But so
Yeah.
it was weird. Then I went to Florida. I went to Mar-a-Lago, and that was weird because it would get dark early, but it was still really warm, and it was like, okay, this is cool. But this is, it's like a winter summer. I'd never experienced that before, so it's quite
So
fun when
is
it's
that
like
when
that.
so you went to Mar-a-Lago, was it the dinner you were talking about? Did you
Yeah.
finally make it?
So no. So what happened was so 2 years to the day, a 2 year delta. So November 13th, 2021, I was at
Oh, it was in
Mar-a-Lago for the afternoon, and I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
see President. I saw him outside. I was in his library room where the painting is. But
Yeah.
it's not that's not the painting, but it's kind of, so there's a portrait of him, and I did a little video of it, and I was talking to the butler, and President Trump came, just walked. He was like, and he'd gone off to his quarters. He had a
Oh
set of
man.
people following him, and then I was like, I really wanted to meet him, but anyway. So I did the video, and then I think I left a day or two after, from Florida. But then I got the NFTs that made it so I could go to this dinner, which was 2 years. So it was the 13th of November, a couple of weeks ago, here in 2023. And I was supposed to go with Mark Atwood, and then things then changed. Janine was going to come with me as well, and she couldn't come. And there was a whole host of other people. So I spoke to Roseanne; she was going to come, and then she couldn't come. I spoke to my two football friends, Matt Letitia, Ricky Lambert. Their truth is they couldn't come. Nino was going to come; he was going to come. He couldn't come. So there was a whole bunch of people that were going to go, but they couldn't. So I'd have been the only one. Now I'm okay. I'm a big boy. I'll go on to things on my own.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. I was like, I had a feeling. I was like, what's going to happen?
Right.
What's that?
Something wasn't right. Like it wasn't the right timing or something.
I said, well, you know what it was? I wasn't guaranteed that I'd actually get to meet President Trump. I wasn't guaranteed that I'd get to say hello, shake his hand. And I was like, do I want to travel all that way again to Mar-a-Lago and just miss him again?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I totally get it.
That was, whereas if I knew that I was going to definitely get to say hello, thank you, sir, shake his hand, get a picture, I'd have gone. And I left it right to the wire. I was like, and I kept tossing and turning for a week or two. Everyone was dropping out, and I was like, I'm the only one that's going to go if I was to go. And then I was just
and it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, they put videos up, and it was the day that his sister died, and I was like, is he going to be there? But he was there, and it looks like everyone had a great time. And it was just, I think, a couple hours officially. It might have gone on for longer, but I got the itinerary. I had all the everything. It was did all the security, everything, and I was like, if I'd have gone and not got to chat with him, I'd have been.
It would have been really disappointing. It would have been really disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know everybody wants to talk to him, and everyone wants to meet him.
Yep.
But I was like, you know what? It will happen at some point.
I think so.
So I just kind of made a logical decision. And also the other thing is, just 2 or 3 days before, he did a couple of rallies. He did one in, I think it was Iowa again. He's always in Iowa. He just met Rachel yesterday, so she shook his hand. She was in a little rally in Iowa.
Oh, nice.
So she got to speak to him for a second. Got the video with him, so a couple nights before I was supposed to go, he was doing a rally, and then at the end of his talk, he started talking about planes, and he said, the airports are awful, they get delayed, you can be on your, and I was like, is he telling me not to go? And I was like, he might be telling me not to go. Anyway, it looked like people got there. People went from Germany, and I landed there, and I didn't land. People landed there, and it seemed to be great, but I took the executive decision of yeah, I'm just not.
I
I
think
just,
that was a good
you know,
decision. I
yeah. I
think
would have
like,
loved to have done, but I just didn't want. That was it. I was like, I just don't want this. I don't want to strike out the second time and not actually get to talk to him. I'll
definitely.
wait for. I'll wait for the
Yeah,
time when he's like, Tom, come and see me. You know. So
I think
yeah,
so. And I think that will come because
it will. It
I
will.
do feel like he knows like who you are, like on some level. And
Yeah.
I think he knows like the real light warriors. Like I think he knows
Yeah.
because I think he knows a lot more than he can lead on.
Oh yeah.
Um, I I mean, he's brilliant. He's as you know, he's a genius, but he's also he can't own up to his intuition yet because it's not accepted. He can't own up to like the disclosures and the talking
Yeah.
about UFOs because it would throw off the entire thing. So he has to be really careful with what he
Yeah.
speaks about and discloses. And but he's also a high level Pleiadian angel. So you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I feel like he intuitively gets downloads and just has that inner knowing. And he may not even call it that or know what to call it, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's like sharp. So I feel like, when it actually does happen, it'll be pretty cool. Like it'll be
Oh yeah.
magical.
Yeah, it will be. And I think you'll meet all of us that can see who he is. I think we'll all get a chance. You'll get a chance to meet. I think we'll all get that time, and I think it will
Yeah.
be repeated because it's not just this is this is going to go into the thousand years of peace, the golden ages, the millennium.
Yeah.
It's coming, so it's like okay,
Yeah.
we're going to be alive for a long time, and we'll all know each other. We'll know everything. So we'll get plenty of times in the future.
Yeah.
I would just obviously like anybody would like it now, and it's like okay, well
I
I'll keep
know.
working hard and I'll prepare for. I think next year I will at some level. I think somehow I will.
Yeah,
Um,
next year is going to be amazing. And then it's just going to
yeah,
get better from there. Like 2025 and then the
yeah,
possible um like interaction with the higher realms, like when the New Jerusalem comes in and
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
2026 and 2027. Well, I mean, I don't know. The timelines are always shifting, and that's the thing we can't.
It's like that. It's like that skipping rope of light. It's always beating and changes it. Yeah,
Exactly.
but it then makes
Exactly.
sense when you peer back. It's like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And I was actually led to you and Ishmael around the same time.
yeah,
So and then I saw you guys, like it was funny because it was like I was watching him and then I was watching you and then I saw you guys were like close and I'm like, okay, yeah, like there's some kind of familial soul connection here.
yeah,
So and yeah, and like on all of his lives, like with the Galactic Jedis and the Guardians, like
yeah.
so I mean all of that resonates with me fully. I just finished his book, his first book.
Oh
So
yes, our cosmic origins. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I need
super
to read
cool.
it. He's been telling me to. I do need to go through it. He and I met in just over a year ago in Anaheim. We met that afternoon in California. I called him
Oh,
up. I was like, "Where
you've
are
only
you?"
known him a year? For some reason I felt like you, but see, that's just this life.
Yeah,
I feel like you guys.
maybe about a year and a half the first time, but we actually physically met just about 13 months ago. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow. You guys really like you can see like it's just so effortless with you guys.
yeah,
Like, it's just so you guys have had to go back, in previous lives. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. And
Like
it's
soul.
and it is you said about New Jerusalem, so that's interesting because New Jerusalem, the numbers on that are 146, which is Truth Social, Ivanka
Ooh.
Trump, the Dove reset or the best reset, and it's
Nice.
also central casting, and Trump always talks about it. I somehow feel I asked Janine about it, and she said she didn't feel it was quite as I was describing, but nevertheless I still feel it. I feel it kind of is. I feel there's probably because New Jerusalem, the Dove, the ship. I feel
Yeah.
that it's. I feel they're almost beaming back and forth. Like Trump says, "Oh, it's central casting." Now that could just be an actor. It could be someone that's been swapped out. But I think there's good central casting as well for
Yeah.
protection, and they can do
Right.
multiple jobs. And so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so if you're on a ship and they could maybe just beam back and forth and like, okay, we need someone to appear here, we need this one to be here. And I
Yep,
think it's that I think they can do that. And in fact, I know they can do that. I've
absolutely.
had people just appear and like literally they've been a walking sign message to me there and then. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
thanks, I got that, you know? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And the higher dimension you get in, everyone turns into a human oracle, like an oracle to
Yeah.
deliver you messages.
Yeah.
It's weird because I've been seeing it more and more lately. Like, um, interactions have almost become supernatural in nature. Like, and it's like, it's almost freaks you out. You're like, what is this? Because it used to just be like you're talking to someone, maybe you're nudging to see if they're awake, you're just having a conversation. And now all of a sudden, when they're in your auric field, it's like they get enveloped and their energy automatically clears and they become like this oracle, like they're delivering you a message to
Yeah.
help that will help you on your journey. But it's
Yeah.
almost like their whole eyes change. They turn light. You can see the transformation. They say what they because they're channeling. And then they go back and it's almost like they don't have a recollection of what they just did. It's like
Yeah.
it's interesting. I mean, that's like getting really deep into it, but I know that you're also really a high vibrational being. So
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like you get this, you
Oh
know?
yeah. It makes total sense. I had um I had a guy, so I was doing some numbers on Back to the Future as I do quite a lot anyway, as you know. And I was
Yeah,
over
I
in
love that.
Swanage on one of the local beach towns a few miles away. And I
Uh-huh.
was messaging someone called Biff on Twitter, who's kind of, taken the name for Back to the Future, Biff. And anyway, so
Oh, yeah.
he's got a lot of good stuff. Sometimes he differs on certain things, but anyway, I was either sending him a direct message or I was replying to something he posted. And lo and behold, this guy out of nowhere walks up past me, and he's wearing a Biff t-shirt, like Biff, and it was Back to the Future. I was like,
Oh
but
my God.
that stuff happens loads of times, and I'm like, okay. And I got a picture with him, and then I did the numbers on it, and all added up. But it was literally like you said, he was like a messenger, like a freak, just boom,
Yeah.
just there. I've had it early lockdown when I was living in London. There was a guy that had number 80 on his back, like a sports shirt, and then it said Thomas. I was like, okay, 80,
Oh,
that's my name. And then Thomas, and well, Thomas is my name, obviously, and then 80. And I was like, okay, where's the 8? Because I want an 88. So I turned around, and then there's a little boy with his like mum and auntie, I think, and he's got an 8. So there was 80, and
ah,
then an 8, and on the 80 it had Thomas. And I was like, and that sort of stuff happens all the time,
all the time.
Yeah,
Hmm. I used to get, so in the beginning of my awakening in like 2018, well, I don't remember, 16, 17, 18, it was
yeah,
all numbers on license plates. So
there you
I
go,
would,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and it was weird. It was like I was upgraded. So it was like, it'd be weird to someone else, but I'm sitting there scanning all the license plates, all the banners. I'm getting signs left and right. I, and, but it was preparing for me to get to the point where I am now, where like I can use the signs to connect the dots in order to like proceed to a higher level of ascension. So, but
yeah,
in the beginning, it was weird. It was like, what is this? Because I'm like 888-444-222. And then it's like
yeah,
words and phrases. And it's kind of slowed down now because I feel like I've gotten more in alignment with where I'm supposed to be. But
yeah,
for a while, it was just like nonstop. I was like getting bombarded with signs.
yeah. It's
So,
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And because you're welcome, you'll get what you need, and then you could get them when you want, and you'll probably
yeah.
develop other abilities, other other channels of information, other gifts.
Yeah.
Do you have a channel yourself? Are you on social media? Are you putting
Not
stuff out?
not right now. I'm actually going through some health conditions right now, so I'm being
Okay,
guided to just I used to be on Instagram and everything. Now I'm just on YouTube, but my guides are like, you need to rest because I went through quite a lot that I can't really talk about yet.
okay, yeah,
Um, with like just all the guardian spiritual stuff, and there was a lot going, so it just like took a lot out of me. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Back in
yeah.
like
Sometimes you just got to
2020.
rest. Yeah, Yeah. What
Yeah.
is your YouTube channel?
Um, Line of God, that I don't have any videos
Okay.
on it. So I'm not really active in posting, but I feel like when I get stronger, so I'm gonna go through probably like 6 months of treatment for Lyme's. And then once I get stronger,
Yeah.
I'll probably be guided to get back out there and make videos again and do all that stuff.
Cool.
But right now, it's
Just
just
get
like,
strong. Rest, get strong. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, rest and get strong. Yeah, it's really hard though, because it's like, I feel like there's so much isolation. You know what I mean? Because before you're kind of involved in everything and you're talking to people, and now it's like just focusing on diet and supplements and resting and this, but I'm trying to embrace it and be grateful for it, because for so long I didn't have that opportunity to rest,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
so, and I'm out of a toxic marriage now and I'm in a better place. There's been so many changes. I'm out of my own now,
Yeah.
and it's really beautiful because I've gotten my freedom and my sovereignty back. So I'm really trying to not see it as like, okay, I'm just sick. I'm really
Yeah.
trying to see it as a blessing. And I think once this treatment phase ends, there'll be huge shifts, and there's going to be big things like with the timing. If this treatment's 6 to 8 months, I mean, that kind of coincides with when Ishmael's predicting that this great solar flash could occur. So I think they're trying to purify our vessels.
Yeah.
You're talking about the magnesium and all your products all the
Yeah.
time. And I feel like the goal of, the higher realms is to purify our vessel, because it's our temple and that's what we use
Yeah.
to alchemize. That's what we use to co-create.
Yeah.
So I feel like the goal is like literally to purify the vessel, try to get the physical vessel in the best shape possible, because that's what we're going to be using when we go through this big transformation or transfiguration into the, what Ishmael talks about when the solar flash hits and our DNA activates. We're
Yeah.
going to be really getting all of our gifts and we're really going to be transforming. So it's like really imperative that we take the best care of our body that we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I hear you. I mean, that's why I was with family today. We had like a kind of big Christmas gathering this afternoon, and I was
Oh, how
talking
did it
to a few
go?
of them. Yeah, it was good. It was good to see everyone. A lot of them I haven't seen for probably best part of the year, but it was good to catch up with everyone. And I was
Oh,
talking about
good.
a few different things, and health came up, and I was like, well, I feel better because of the stuff I'm doing and the things I'm taking, and I totally resonate with you on that, because it's like I think
You
we've got to
do?
get yeah, I think we've got to get strong. I mean, because I always joke, but it's true. I feel like I need probably at least four of me to do what I want to be doing with all my channels. It's like, okay,
Yes.
there's so much work to do, but I do what I can. But also, I feel like you said, our temple, our tabernacle, our body, our dove, 46 dove, body 46, best 46. We're we're trying to we're in the process of just making that the best we can, and I feel that, and I feel particularly next year as well, and just keep on in that direction. Then we're stronger, we're healthier, we're better to receive what we've got to do. But I totally
Absolutely.
resonate with what you mean
You
about
resonate? Oh,
yeah,
good.
just recuperating, getting strong, and
I
I
figured
guess as
you
long as
would.
I'm able to, what's that?
I figured you would resonate.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. That strikes a chord for sure. Because I feel, yeah, maybe taking a rest would from my end would be good. But I'm trying to incorporate. I'm working, but I'm trying to upgrade while I'm doing my things, and definitely the thing, with the shungite, the magnesium, the other stuff. It's like, okay, that's helping me. It is helping me. I feel better on it, and
You feel
there's
better.
other things I'm doing as well. Yeah, I mean, there's more to go. But I'm definitely like, actually, yeah, I feel a lot better than I did without it. Put it that way. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm sure. Because the products and everything, I feel like it's top-notch quality, what
It
you're.
is. Yeah, it is. Because all the things I talk about, I use myself. I'm like, okay, I feel that. It's like, okay. And then people, when they write in and say, "Oh, thanks for telling me about the sleeping pods, and thanks for telling me about the magnesium or iodine," whatever it is, it's like, yeah, it's working. I use it, and it's working, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's helping other people, and that's the thing. It's like if there's something that's going to help and it benefits everyone, then it's like, okay, let's do it. So
Yeah, and I feel like it's coming in waves of um like the first waivers, like it's weird because it's like everybody's doing stuff at the same time. Like I know, like I got a download to do a parasite cleanse, and a couple of us were talking about it, and then I start seeing videos on YouTube about light workers doing parasite cleanses, and
yeah,
now other people, and it's just like this ripple effect of, it's like this download that comes in from the higher realms, and then the
yeah,
whole light worker community, like the whole 144, is doing the same thing at the same time.
hmm,
And it shows how connected we all are, but it seems to be like patterns with we're all using the same supplements. We're all, the iodine, the magnesium, we need it for our nervous system, we need it for and these themes, it seems like I'm seeing patterns,
yeah,
of these themes coming up
yeah,
with, like, our extended family. So
yeah. Well, it is. It's like, because I was talking to my brother about that this afternoon. And I was like, well, because he doesn't do what I do, but he's open to a lot of it, and he sees synchronicities all the time. And I was like,
yeah,
well, why are some of us getting these things? Like you say, the first wave. Why are some of us getting this and others aren't? It's like, well, if we've been here for a while, it just makes sense. It reveals who you are, who you were before, and you will be naturally gravitating towards those things, like the supplements that help and the things that we didn't know about. I didn't know about Shunga. I'd heard of it. I didn't know what it was, and I hadn't been using it until in the last few months. I'm like, okay, this is really great.
amazing.
It works.
Yeah.
Keeping my fruit and vegetables in the fridge. I had blueberries. I did a video a few weeks ago, and it was like a month after, and they were still fresh. And then I still had them there
Like,
for another 3 weeks. It was 49 days that they were
I
still
need
great.
to start doing that because it's like a few days later and they go bad, and I'm like, I just
Yeah,
bought it.
I know they do. Blueberries have always done that. It's like they go.
Yeah,
You know what I should probably do is I should probably something like raspberries, because raspberries can go like within 24 hours. So I should maybe get some raspberries, just make sure they're good and they're not like
yeah,
already going, but they're good, and then just whack them in there and see how long they'll last. That'd be fun. That'd be fun to test.
that
Yeah,
would be. I bought some today, and I can guarantee you they'll go bad in like a day or two if I don't use them. But
yeah.
another thing I have is copper. I have like a copper vessel for EMF, and then I'm wearing copper.
Yeah. My
I
mum
feel
used to
like
have like copper. Yeah, I should get some. Yeah,
copper's cool too. Yeah, it does. It has a lot of therapeutic benefits, and it does protect you from the EMF too. So
yeah, yeah. I should get some. When I was talking to Ian Clark from Activation Products, the guy that does the iodine and the magnesium and the Oceans Alive and the Solaris, he was talking about copper, and he mentioned about I should, yeah, but even just physically having it, and probably as well,
yeah,
that's another reminder. I should probably get it like for drinking and for cooking and
uh,
stuff. They talk about
yeah,
copper for
gotta do
pots and
that too.
pans.
There's
Yeah.
so much to do. I mean, one step at a time, I guess, or
That's
else you
it.
get.
That's it. Don't stress. Just one step at a time. It's like, all right, because over time, if you just improve bit by
Yeah,
bit, you suddenly reach a destination of like, and you look back and like, oh, I'm here now. So yeah, just take
yeah,
it easy, bit by bit, and just implement things as you go, and then it builds up. It builds up, and it compounds. It's like, okay, I've been doing this a while. Been doing it. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. What was I gonna? I feel like there was something I was gonna ask you. Oh, can you do the numbers on my name?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, yeah. So here we are.
And there's just so many things to talk to you about. I feel like I'm all over the place because I'm like, I wanted to talk to you about certain videos forever, and now all of a sudden it's like I can't remember it all. But I know like also Princess Diana's been coming up a lot for me lately. And I didn't know
Yeah,
if you were getting her. I think you did a video on it, but
yeah.
her coming up, and I watched a documentary on her, and I like felt like, oh my gosh, yeah, she is, you know, she's the sacred rose line,
Yeah.
she's from sacred bloodline. And I was like, I just felt such a connection with her.
Oh yeah, she's a massive part of the numbers for me. She basically, her essence, her being, her spirit. I mean, I still, believe she's still with us. She's alive, but her ability on the higher realms was telling me that basically it was her. It's a combination of her at first. I mean, I met Ivanka Trump. I was activated. I got a recognition of numbers when my cousin Paul died. I met Ivanka, but I didn't do the alphanumeric until 2020. But
Yeah.
Diana's essence, she was teaching me the numbers, and then I listened to President Trump each night in the height of 2020, and then I'm figuring out Kennedy and Arlington Cemetery and the queue, and Diana was like right there, just pointing me, guiding me. I figured out, or it was her, something was telling me, look up Diana's funeral service, and it started at 9:08 in the morning, which is a weird time to start something officially. I was like, 9:08, what's that? 9 plus 8. And 98 is Romanov. It's independence. But I was like, 9 plus 8, what's that? Okay,
So
it's 17. And then it's like, oh, that's Q. And I didn't even know what Q was until, a few weeks later. But everything
Oh,
was guided. Even if you do Diana Spencer numbers, if you spell that out as 109, which is
uh-huh.
Diana Spencer, which spells the word 17, 109. My channel, CLIENT CONSULTATION, 109, Witness 109. What did Diana witness? Who she a witness against? It's like, it's all there,
All
But she
there.
taught me the numbers. It was, yeah. So it's amazing you've got that. You're getting it through her because she's with us. It's like,
Oh, I feel that. There,
yeah,
it's like there's someone that comes through every couple of months. Like I remember when Dolores Cannon came through and all the light workers were talking about Dolores, and it was like,
yeah,
why are we all talking about her at the same time? It's because she's with us, it's because she literally came down, in spirit to help the light workers to move to the next level, and
yeah.
from from the higher realms. And so yeah, and I remember when I was drawn to Nikola Tesla and a lot of those genius genius souls that were savants. And I remember like going through a phase where it was like Nikola Tesla and learning all about him and watching his documentaries. And it's really interesting, but I feel like a lot of them are helping us from above, you
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, they definitely are. And that's the thing. So if they're not experiencing it, it'd be difficult for them to comprehend. But if you feel it and you're experiencing it, it makes total sense. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
Ariana gets it. It's like, yeah, Tom gets it. Yeah, got it. Whereas
yeah,
it's kind of maybe like we're speaking French or something else I mean, French is great, but speaking another language to people that don't get it.
yeah.
But those that get it, if you get it, you get it. You get it, and it makes perfect sense.
It makes
Um,
perfect sense. Yeah, I stopped trying to awaken people and convince people and talk to people, because some people just are not gonna get it, or they're not gonna be open to it. And it's like it
yeah,
just became like a waste of energy for me. And I think probably you too. It's probably draining for you to talk to someone that's in
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
a lower frequency. It probably pulls from you a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I tried to do my best, but it's like no one tried to convince me of this. I found or it found me.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, I got it instantly. I was like, okay, great, okay, I got it, and
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that. But there's a reason that me, you, others that get it. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't have to be convinced. We don't have to. We put
Right.
our messages out. We do our light work. We put it out, and others will find it, and others will come over. There's definitely ones that haven't got it at first, and then they have. So there's definitely those category, and then there's others I still think that will come. Particularly next year, I think there'll be a lot more that come over. But yeah, people will get it when they can. We just keep doing what we can, because no
Yeah.
one had to. I was activated. I mean, I was awake before. I was always awake before, but not to that level. And I didn't know
Right.
I didn't know about numbers in that way. And it just boom, there you go. You're ready. Take that. I was like, okay, all right, I'll take it. And I ran with it, because I was ready. And it all came. I didn't get it out of a book. It came down,
Oh,
and I recognized what it was.
oh, it's 100% like your divine gift,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It came through.
it's part of your divine. Oh, you should do the numbers on this if you want. Divine blueprint. It's part of your divine blueprint. So what?
Divine
So
blueprint. Oh, Ariana Hughes is. So Ariana is 44, which interesting enough is Diana Face. So there you go, Face Diana. So that's
oh,
an
really?
interesting one. And then Hughes is 68, and it comes to 112, which is Star Trek. Comes to victory.
Oh,
And we were talking about Star Trek earlier, like it's like Star Trek style.
well, it's victory of the
central
light
casting.
because I mean I was on the. I don't really tell anyone this, but I was on the front lines with the other light warriors back in 2020 when the warfare hit. And it's 444 on my oven, and that's not even the right time. Look.
Oh, I love a good. Have a look.
As we're talking about this.
Go closer.
That's
Let
cool.
me see it. Go closer.
Oh, you want to go closer? Okay, here. Yeah. See, look, in my microwave is 614, but on my oven it's 444. Yeah. So
well, I haven't had that for a while, but I love the out of time cooker clock, because I had it during 2020, so I was getting double sets of codes all the time, and then I loved an out of time cooker clock. Is a brilliant thing. Yeah. It's a brilliant thing.
Yeah, that resonates because it's victory of the light. It's like the light won the war.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's cool.
Divine blueprints, yeah. Divine blueprint.
Yeah. So when you get
so divine DIV or DE? But no, DIV, isn't it? Yeah.
DINE.
Yeah.
And then blueprint. So really, I haven't been able to actively do my work now because of my health, but I'm a starseed activator. But what happens is when you activate somebody, you're essentially activating their divine blueprint. So, which is the genetic code that the creator initially designed you to be. So minus all the distortions and all the things that kind of what do you call it, manipulations or mutations. Yeah. It's where the goal is to bring us back to our original divine blueprint, which is what the creator made us to be. And your blueprint is what contains all of your innate talents. Like for you, it'd be your numbers, right? It'd be your talent with your numbers. Like that's an innate gift. That's like who you were created to be. So also I think Ivanka, because she contains a certain amount of the higher genetic material from I mean, it might be the House of Avion, which is like which is one of the like the higher royal bloodlines.
Okay.
So because she contains that genetic material, that higher genetic material within her, and so does the whole Trump family and the whole bloodline, right? The whole priest, what is it called? There's this rose line. It's the priest bloodline, but basically I feel like because of her energy, it was powerful enough to activate you. And then I think I think in turn, it's like a domino effect of like you rippling that out and activating other people with your channel and your numbers and your talents, so it's like, it's always like a ripple. So
yeah, it's the ripple effect.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is. Divine blueprint. So this is interesting. So divine is 63, which is also the word 11. So if you spell 11, it's 63. JFK happened in 63. Happened on a Friday, which is 63.
Oh, wow.
And then blue is 40, which is US. It's RV. And then print is 77, which is Christ, which is Ivanka's, if you just added an S. It's also stars, S. Hertz, which was above the Dealey Plaza, but the book depository, there's a picture of that. They had a Hertz. I think it was the picture looks like it was at the time, but it was like a big billboard. It said Hertz. So the frequency of that.
Frequency. Yeah.
But then blueprint is 117, which is manifesting, but it's also Fifth Avenue. And that's where Trump Tower is. But you do them all together. Divine blueprint is 180. So it's what helps cause the 180, the flip, you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
It's
if you do
amazing.
the blueprint, it's 213, which is Kid by the Side of the Road, which is Juan's book. But it's also Diana. So it's consciousness change. So the divine blueprint is 213, which is Kid by the Side of the Road. But it's also consciousness change. It's also Princess Diana Spencer. So it's also Diana Frances Spencer death, but it's also Diana Frances Spencer change. And it's also Diana Frances Spencer balance.
Oh, wow.
And because that's all that is, you know. Junior died at age 38, which is balance. He didn't really die. My cousin Paul, I think, did die, but he was age 38 when that happened as well. And it's death, but it's also change, it's balance, it's gold, it's ocean, it's fire. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
Ocean.
the divine blueprint. Yeah. The divine blueprint, 213.
Oh, thanks for doing that. That's amazing.
Well, that's all right. You're welcome. 180 plus 1, 2. Oh, well, that's good. So you've got something really good actually there. Well, you got something really good anyway, but this is another one. So if you do Ariana Hughes, I'm saying you right, aren't I?
Yeah.
And that's 112 Victory or Star Trek. But then you add Divine Blueprint, which is 180. That comes to 292, and 292 comes to next year's election, which is the election of all. It's bigger than just an election. It's the calling election made sure. It's in the twinkling of an eye, which all those are 246. But if you do 292, that actually comes to a lot of important things. But one of them is it comes to Friday. Sorry, not Friday. It comes to Tuesday, the 5th of November, which is next year on the leap year. So 292 comes to Tuesday, the 5th of November. And also,
remember 5th of November.
That's it. And that's why we've been told to remember it, you see. It's the only date we've been told to remember. There's many important dates, but the only one we've been told to remember is the 5th of November. And you have Remembrance Day, Armistice Day, which is 11/11, which is a week later. So you've got a week to remember. When do you think the week to remember is? It starts November 5th and it goes through to November 11th. That's when it is. And that's next year.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's on a leap year. And the leap year is the kick. You know?
The leap year's the kick. Ah.
Yeah. Everything's done on a leap. It's quantum leaps are done on a leap year. They do it in fours. It's a leap. I mean, real Donald Trump is 174, which is the quantum leap. It's done on a leap year.
Yeah, the quantum leap. Yeah, that makes so much sense to me. Because it's literally like a timeline jump. It's a quantum leap to wow.
It's the 310th day of the year. 310 is the quantum financial system. 310 is the scripture in Malachi, which describes Nasara Jasara. It talks about the windows of heaven. Windows is 107 quantum. Windows is Trump's 107 military, 107 currency, 107 Aquarius, 107. And heaven is 55, which is Melania, JFK, JR.
Yeah, because the heaven on earth is essentially the shift into the Aquarian age out of the dark ages. I mean,
yeah,
it's it's we're bridging the heaven to earth, and that's something I guess that people I don't know how many people grasp that like obviously the awakened community does, but
yeah,
that it's not a physical place, it's a level of consciousness. Heaven, it's the Christ consciousness. It's
yeah,
moving past the the ego and the primal self and into the higher dimensions of the consciousness.
yep, yep.
So
And
oh
292, yeah, 292, 292. It's a great one. I mean, it's you got a 29 there, which is Diana, and you got a 92, which is numbers, and you add them together as 121, which is Revelation, Golden Jubilee, Second Coming. Who's Second Coming? Well, she's one of them. There's going to be a few Second Comings, but she's definitely one of them.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I mean,
She's a
we're
Christ character, She's a lot of people say, oh, the Christ is the feminine, and maybe so, but you do if you do Diana, if you do Lady Diana Spencer, it's 151, which is Jesus Christ 151.
I mean, she's straight from the bloodline of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean,
and
I think you're onto something when you say, that it's a female. I think you are. So that's just my
yeah,
personal opinion. I think you are. I think you're accurate.
yeah. I mean, it could well be. It's like a lot of people get that, um, and she's definitely a divine feminine. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
the 121 and all the stuff that's gone on. It's like there's all these different characters playing different hats from different sides, but fundamentally, it's like, well, she taught me the numbers. I don't know how else to put it. She's like, okay, there you go, and I'm connected to her. I'm somehow very closely connected to her. I mean, my name, Tom Sydney Bushnell's 217.
217.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lady Diana Francis Spencer's 217. Mission Impossible 217. Houses of Parliament 217. The gunpowder plot was was supposed to be taking place at the Houses of Parliament, but it's going to take place again. There's a reason they've made that clock all nice and shiny again. There's so many. I'm just excited to see how they're going to do it, but it's all interconnected. And she taught me that. I mean, I met Ivanka,
Yeah.
and then Diana's telling me follow these, the numbers. So she's teaching it to me, and
So
then I'm hearing,
telepathic. So
yeah,
telepathic.
yeah, just it's downloads. It was like I didn't have a conversation with someone physically or someone like we're chatting now. No one told me, oh, by the way, this. I figured out the numbers all intrinsically, but I would be remiss if I said, oh, I just did it all on my. I didn't. I was being guided by higher beings, and her essence was one of them.
Ah,
Clearly,
so that is
a
so
thousand
her.
percent, because it started with her. It was like, okay, when did she die? Well, when's her funeral service? Okay, it's 9:08 in the morning. 9 plus 8 is 17. 17 is the cue, and that all happened within a period of like 1 or 2 days. And I didn't know the order. I had to still count. I had to do. I knew this stuff was coming, but I had to do it slowly. That was the bottleneck, having to count on my fingers, and then I taught myself to do it quickly within, I don't know, 10 days, maybe
Wow.
3 weeks. But I'm still getting all these numbers. So I went through the
Yeah.
process of writing it down, counting, all of that. So I had it, the gift came, but then I had to physically do some work to get fluent at it, and then it just carried on. But it was
Oh yeah.
coming anyway. It was coming, come what may. And I'm like, okay, there's something to this. I'm gonna put the work in to be able to do it, which I did.
It's such an important gift because the whole, as you know, it's not just the universe, it's the whole multiverse.
Yes.
It is I mean, it all comes down to numbers. Like numbers are so incredibly important. And they'll tell you everything. But you know what it is? It's you won't have, between me and you, people that don't have souls that don't have a pure heart don't have access to the keys of the universe. So the key of the universe, 369, Tesla, all of this, these gifts, that these savant like gifts that, you know, some of us have acquired, it's not given to just anyone. The universe has to, you have to build trust with the universe from the purity of your soul.
Yeah.
You have to have pure intentions and be vibrating in unconditional love. And you know, Diana was, if you look at her,
Yeah.
there's a reason that she's giving this to you, because I can feel like you're like love, you know, like you're just vibrating. You're a very gentle soul. You're vibrating in unconditional love. You're pure. So is Ishmael. And like, I feel like our whole group is, because it's just purity. But if you look at Diana, it's like you can just feel that about her. It's like, it just emanates and radiates off of her. It's like her eyes are like diamonds to me. I don't know why. It's like, but it's who she is. It's, you know what I mean? That's who she is.
Yeah, people loved her and they still love her. You know, it's like, you're totally right. And you said about the pure in heart. So the pure is 93, which is Flotus. And if she's married to Trump, which I think there's a good chance she is, then
I think so.
Then she's Flotus as well, which is 93. My last name, Bushnell, is the pure, 93. But I taught people this so early on.
Oh,
so
your last name? Oh,
my
wow.
last name is Bushnell, 93, the pure, yeah. And you hit on a really important point about it's the pure in heart. I told people that ages ago. I was like, you know what? Don't worry, because some people get, well, how do you know them? How do, you know? I'm like, I said early on, and you picked up on it. I was like, if you're pure in heart, it'll be fine. It'll come to you, you know. And that's the key for understanding it. Because some people even watch the show and like, I don't even understand what you're saying, but I love it, you know. And then others get like, well, how do you get all that? How do you know the meanings? I'm like, well, what comes in, just work it out and go from there. But you hit the nail on the head. It's all to do with the purity of your heart. And I knew that ages ago, because like it was happened to me. And so thanks for reminding me and bringing it up, because I used to teach. I haven't said that for a while, but I probably will again, because it's like, it's true. That's what it is. It's a key. If you have spiritual gifts, it's down to the purity of your heart. Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm so glad you resonate with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I feel that people, you know, to attain power, it used to be through manipulation and greed and things like that. But over time, when we're exalted, when the righteous are exalted, meaning the ones with the pure of hearts vibrating in unconditional
Were you
love.
brought up Mormon?
No,
Okay.
Catholic, but I'm far from it now.
Yeah. No, just the terminologies is like, I was like, I wonder if she was brought up Mormon. Okay, yeah.
No, I was raised Catholic, but it didn't resonate with me at all. And now I know why. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really into the religious stuff, but I've been shown, like when it comes to the Bible and certain things, I've been given the gift of discernment to be able to differentiate like what part of this is true and what part of this isn't, and what part of, you know, and so I'm really open-minded, because, you know, for me, it's like there's truth in so many different, you know, religions, but not one contains all of it. And there's so many, you know, come to a place of acceptance of a lot of different things. But
that's what I'm like. If I can find good in something, I'll find it. And if I just let go of the rest. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
I think that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I got off track. I think I was saying, like, as the righteous are exalted, so upgraded, and we, you know, we attain, you know, the wealth and stuff. And I mean, it's going to be evenly distributed to everyone. There's going to eventually be no one that doesn't have, you know, even there's going to be no poverty and none of that. But I think at a certain point, people are going to have to reevaluate their old mentality of like
I'm still listening to you, Ariana. I'm just taking some potatoes out of the oven because
Oh yeah, you're fine. No worries.
I'm just going to pull them out, but I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh no, but you're
And
fine.
it's your numbers on my cooker. So it's 112. They've been in there for an hour. No way. Get this. Okay, so if they've been in there for an hour and 12 minutes, with 112 is your full name, and it's at 180 degrees, which is the divine blueprint. So the
Are you
numbers come up. Yeah.
Oh my
Somebody
gosh.
come and get them out then at
It's all
112.
synced up. See, they did that on purpose.
Numbers are
I
fun.
swear, it's like a cosmic joke right now. I feel like
Yeah.
it's all synced up. I felt like the guides like orchestrated all of this because it was just everything you were saying was resonating, and I was like, I've got to get in touch with him. And eventually I'll be like so cool to exchange information because I feel like when you put multiple people together with their gifts, it amplifies the strength of the gifts because it's like you have different puzzle pieces coming together, and it's
Yeah,
like you may have a piece, I may have a piece, someone else may have a piece, but when you put all your gifts together, it all makes sense. And you know what I mean?
definitely.
So
That's exactly what happens. We become stronger through it
yeah,
multiplying. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
like it would I feel like there's a point, it may not be now, like I said, I have a little ways to go to get stronger, but it would be really, really like a dream come true if like you and Ishmael and I do could have a conversation. But I think everything will happen and
Yeah, that will happen. Yeah, just keep getting stronger, and when you're ready, that will happen. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing. So
I can't believe. Well, I can believe it because it always happens. But 112 and 180. I should have taken a photo of it, but that was it. It was like there it is. It's right there, just right in front of us.
it's funny, like you got up right in that
I
minute.
know, I
Like
got up right at that moment because the alarm had gone off just a couple minutes before. I was like, okay, I'm going to go over. And I probably actually left them in there longer than I should have done. But I was like, nevertheless, it was 112. And
I know,
180.
I always think it's you. You're like, and little do you know, it's like your guides like literally yanking you up, like, go look at the clock.
Yeah, go look at the clock. Get your potatoes out. And now I've put some
Your
broccoli.
ass up and go look at the clock.
I put some broccoli in, and broccoli is 77. Christ. So I put some broccoli in now. So I've taken the potatoes out, let them cool down, and yeah, so that's brilliant. So
Well, if you
well,
have
we've
to go,
got let's no, because I mean I interrupted that a little bit. We'll carry on for another 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap up. So yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's so funny. So you said it was 112. Wait, what number did you say?
So
On the
the oven had been on for 1 hour and 12 minutes,
1 hour and 12 minutes.
which
And
is
that
your numbers, which is Ariana Hughes, and then you said the divine blueprint is 180, and I had it set
yeah.
at 180 degrees temperature centigrade.
What's
So
the
I was like, "They're the two numbers." We did that in the session
what?
together, and it was like 112 and
100.
180, yeah, which comes to 292, which is super powerful, which is Tuesday, the 5th of November. So it's telling us again, yeah, you're on target. It's going to be mega.
Oh my.
And then I just put broccoli in, and broccoli is Christ 77, and it's green. Green is 49, which is yes. So yes, Christ. Yes,
Oh
power.
my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. I mean, I really resonate with that. I really do. Like
And
Every
green
Sunday,
broccoli
every
is 126,
Sunday.
which is 1111. It's okay. So green, I didn't know this, but green is 49. I knew that. And broccoli 77, which is Christ. But you add them together, it's 126. And 126 comes to 1111. And we spoke about that. There's an 1111 on JFK because it happened in 63 on a Friday, 1111. But I said the week to remember starts November 5th. And it goes through to Remembrance Day, which is 11/11, which is a week. That's the week to remember. You've got to remember the 5th of November, and Remembrance Day is November 11th. So that's a week. So that is categorically the week to remember. It's from November 5th through to Remembrance Day, and that's when it is. And it's just confirmed it because I've just taken out, and then I put in green broccoli, which comes to 126, which is 11/11.
See, they have a sense of humor too. So
They
Yeshua,
do. They totally do. They're smart. They love it. They're like, oh, they're getting it. Look,
oh
Ariana
my
and
God,
Tom
you
are
feel
figuring it
it,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Because so my guides, like, they have a lot of joy energy. Like, one of my guides is Yeshua, and he's like pure joy energy. And a lot of they have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll literally channel laughter through me because it's like, okay, you haven't laughed in like 8 months, so we're gonna need you to laugh right now. But it's like that energy I'm getting right now. It's that like joyful, because the word I was getting was celebration. So I was
Okay.
start telling you the words I get, because I was getting the word season, like we're in the season of waiting, and then I was getting celebration, because even though we're not celebrating yet here, because we haven't technically made it to the finish line yet.
Yeah.
And, the bad guys aren't locked up yet, and the
Yeah.
events haven't technically transpired in the third dimensional reality. Even though it's not transpired in the 3D, it's already done in the higher realm. So they're already celebrating in the cosmos. So I was
Yeah.
getting the word celebration because they're already celebrating, because the light's already won. It just has not come into full fruition in our physical reality yet. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. Yeah. Totally. It's all been created. You create it you create it spiritually, and then it manifests physically. So celebration, what's that come to? So CLEBRAI
The long one. I'm
N.
glad I'm glad you're good with numbers, because I've always not been good with numbers. I've always been good with words. And so it's cool to have you, because it's like I have the word and you have the number, and
Yeah.
it kind of flows. Like, but I don't necessarily want to figure out the numbers. For me, it'd be like pulling teeth to, like, it wouldn't be that bad, but it'd be like, it's not my innate gift. Let's just put it
Yeah.
that way.
Well, celebration is 104, so it's that comes to 14, but that comes to Starlink, and it comes to Jerusalem, and it comes to where I was born, Hillingdon. So I was born in Jerusalem, but I wasn't. I was born in Hillingdon. It's the name of the town. But the thing, I'll let you into a secret about numbers. So I'm not a great mathematician. I'm better at connecting the dots, and so I remember. I'm very good. I remember lots of things, and I'm very good at seeing and being able to thread very quick. But the numbers. So I can do them in my head, but I still feel the clunk. So I'm not a mathematician, but I'm very good at
Converting the numbers to letters.
and I'm very good at seeing the pattern and seeing, like, how does this connect? Oh, it's that.
Me too. That's what
Yeah.
I do. Like,
So
I
you'd
literally
actually you probably would. You're not as far away from actually just being able to thread the numbers as you might think. It's not a math. The numbers is not a maths thing. It's not like, oh, I can add up and subtract. It's not that. Right. It's recognizing, what's this message? Oh, it's that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like you don't even have to explain it. I get it. It's just like, it's the inner knowing of what it represents, or like the meaning. Is that
That's
what you're
it.
saying? Yeah,
Yep,
I get
you
it.
got it. That's totally it. So
I totally get it.
yeah. Well, brilliant, Ariana. It's been amazing. I've really enjoyed today. It's been really
I
good.
know. So
Yeah.
fun. Oh,
Yeah.
I loved meeting you. I've been waiting for this for a while.
Well, thank you.
So I think there's going to be like amazing things coming, and I really hope like we can all connect at some point. I think it'd be great, but I think it's going to be a little while. You know, we've got to
Yeah.
get through the stretch of, you know, all
Well,
this stuff.
keep getting strong. So you are strong, because strong is 93, and it's the pure, it's 93. So you are. So just keep going with it, you know. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
So,
you. I appreciate it.
awesome. Well, it's been a lot of fun. So are we, hang on, let me, I'll end that there.